Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Imagination Nature. I have a special episode once again, and as you can see, I'm with my good friend and guest, Deb Klugers. There's many titles that Deb holds, but today we are going to go with one of my favorites, Bonac bees. Now you are the creator,
owner, operator.
There you go. We have the lady in charge with Bonac bees, and we're going to talk about bees. And the reason we're doing this is because a couple weeks ago, Deb was nice enough to invite me, and Ira was there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ira
Barocas.
Wonderful gentleman.
He's my helper.
He's a great guy.
Great guy.
And we did what? We
did a honey harvest. We were going to one of the properties where I manage bees for a number of people throughout the Hamptons, and what was that, September or October? When did we go? Late September?
Couldn't have
early
been
October?
3 weeks ago?
Okay, so it was the October, the last harvest of the season, and we were going through to take out honey for the property owners, but we made sure that we left a lot of honey in for the bees. So we wanted to leave about 50 to 100 pounds of honey in each hive for the bees, and any extra we took out, and then we're going to spin it.
Okay, now to give it, before we talk about the spinning part, because that's interesting, I want to kind of give a general idea of the weight and the size and the amount, if we can do this through words.
Yep.
So we all know, or I'll be showing a picture of a beehive, and it's how many stacks would you say is an average hive?
Well, you have 2 deeps, and that's where the queen bee is, where she lays her babies. They store pollen, honey, nectar, all that good stuff. And then as the season progresses, you add honey supers on top.
Okay.
So some of my hives have 5 honey supers. They're above my head, so I need my friend Ira to come and help me.
I didn't know that.
Other hives are smaller. Like, it depends on the neighborhood, the bees, the productivity, the nectar flow, and the ones that we were at had about 2 deeps and 3.
Right, and I thought that was the standard size, because that's what you normally see.
Well, those are hives that are established.
You're right.
A new hive starts with 1.
Okay.
1 deep.
I didn't know that.
And then you add as the colony grows. So the colony starts small, and when we saw them, there was probably 50,000 bees.
You're kidding me?
No.
In each one?
Yeah. And they're out. A lot of them
amazing.
are foraging during the day.
Okay. Now.
So they start small and they grow. And then in the winter, they get smaller because we're taking off the honey.
Okay.
And we're leaving them some.
Each square is called a
honey super or a brood chamber. So the deeper ones, they're a bee box. Or
a bee box.
Yeah.
Be easier. All right. Each bee box holds how many watts?
Those are frames, and they could be an 8 frame or a 10 frame. I have 10 frames, but I would like to go to 8 frames because each frame could weigh about 7 pounds when it's filled with honey.
When it's filled.
Right. So they're heavy. So you can have an 8 frame hive. You can have a 10 frame hive. The ones that we were working on that day are Langstroth hives, and they are 10 frames. 7 pounds filled with honey.
Filled with honey.
Less if it's just babies.
Times 8 or 10.
Yeah.
And
you would lift in them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was quite heavy, and a little bit more difficult because we wore the bee suit. You know, I'm not one to work. When I work, I don't like to wear gloves.
No, I don't
it's a
wear
bad
gloves.
habit.
Yeah.
But I don't because
work.
it's constricting.
Yeah.
With whatever I do. With the bee suit, I didn't feel constricted. In fact, I didn't even feel like my vision was impaired with the mask. It was very comfortable wearing it. I felt safe.
You looked really
I felt safe. Thank you. I felt safe. You were wearing the half model,
yes,
which was the braver
and
model.
And the no gloves and flip-flops,
yes,
probably.
That's correct. Okay, and Ira.
Sometimes I go like
Ira was bundled up.
Yes, he was like duct taped.
Like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Yeah. But anyway, that is some good stuff. That's good information.
what you mean to me, Queen Bee. They can't see what you mean to me, what you mean to me, what you mean to me, my little Queen Bee. Now I'm gonna follow everywhere you go, 'cause girl, there's something I want you to know. They can't see what you mean to me, my little Queen Bee. Yeah. They can't see what you mean to me, what you mean to me, what you mean to me, my little Queen Bee. They can't see what you mean to me, what you mean to me, what you mean to me, my little Queen Bee. They can't see what you mean to me, what you mean to me, what you mean to me, my little Queen Bee. My little Queen
What is the purpose of wearing the bee suit? Why do you think that would be most necessary?
Well, you don't want to get stung, first of all. The other side of that, if a bee stings you, it dies. So
Okay.
you don't want the colony, you could say a loss of one. Everyone is important, right?
Right.
If you get stung, the bees, well, first of all, it's white. So if you wore dark colors, the bees might think you're a bear or some kind of, something in nature coming up to the hive. So
Oh.
you wear the white colors, the light colors to, calm the bees, I guess. And you just don't want to get stung. And if the bees sting you by accident or even on purpose, they send off a pheromone. It's a danger alert scent. So it tells the other bees, which is why I don't wear gloves. If I wore gloves and I got stung and I didn't feel it,
Right.
another bee might sting me, and another bee, and another bee, and then they'll go crazy, and then they'll get a little bit agitated if they're sensing that danger. So I don't wear gloves. I think I
Wow.
might have got stung once that day.
Now, when they do sting, is it also true that the stinger will continue to
Yep.
pump venom
Yeah. That's-
after it pulls the insides out of the
Yes.
bee, which is what kills it?
Yep, the reason why is the bee has a barb on the end of its stinger, unlike a yellow jacket or a hornet, where it's
Right.
just and the yellow jacket can sting you over and over and over.
Ooh, I
They're
hate that.
nasty, yeah.
They're nasty.
And they're mean and they don't die. So, but the honeybee, it gives up its life, and because it's got a barb, and when it pulls away, the venom keeps pumping. You can watch it, but I would suggest you just scrape it. I think
Yes, you showed me.
Yeah, you
yes,
gotta
you
just
scrape it.
out.
You don't try pulling it
Right.
out. You scrape it out, and the barbs
and
kind of.
bee venom is used medicinally as well. I mean, if people aren't allergic to it, it has healing qualities. So
As the honey is as well.
that's right.
So the bee is a very, very important insect and member of our animal kingdom.
Pollinates their food. One
And
out of
pollinates
every
their food.
3 bites of food that we eat,
Very
you can thank
important.
a honeybee.
Okay.
There's the baby being born.
I gotcha.
And also right here.
Hold on, I got this one really good. Where's the other one? There it is. I see it. Right next to each other.
Pretty much. So these are all capped brood.
Very good. Okay.
A new life.
Excellent.
Sisters doing it for themselves.
So,
This was your last one.
what's going on here as far as
No problem.
as far as
Fun to look. Yep. Oh, this look how.
yeah, this is honey. This we're gonna leave this for them for the winter, but just to show you, I'm gonna have to take this one out first.
All right. You got me.
Where?
On my wrist. I got it.
Did you scrape
Yep.
it?
There you go.
Yeah, this is some pollen, so that's a good one for them for the winter, but I'll make sure there's no queen on here.
No.
No queen, no boys. This is what I call honey.
That's honey right there.
Yeah. Pretty. Actually deceiving, you know, I thought it would be all
Yeah,
cat,
me
but it's
too,
not.
me too.
Mhm.
I saw
So-
this side. I was like, wow.
Let's put another frame of honey in here.
Yep.
Actually, I can take one of. I'll take one of those. Crack it off with that propolis. Remember I told you?
Yeah. Just like that. Just
And
pull
pick
it
it up
out.
over the hive.
Okay.
Did you get it?
No.
Pick it up over the hive because you don't want the queen. If the queen's on there, you certainly don't want her to fall off. You
Yeah.
want to check this one?
This one?
This one.
This one.
This is honey. We just put it
Sure.
in there. What do you see?
A little bit there.
Just a little bit of. We're gonna. Let me see. Is this all pollen? Yeah, this is all pollen in there. So we're gonna leave this for them for the winter.
Okay.
That's important to them too. You know, and it's not all about the honey. You see that?
Sure.
You see that one? Oh, what do you say?
Wow, I see lots of colors. Yellows.
Keep it over the hive.
Oh.
There you go. In case the queen's on, she can't fly because she's egg laden.
And she'll drop.
We don't want her to fall
We don't
off.
want her to
Well, she
drop?
could fall off in here.
Okay.
But if we see the queen, you'll notice her. Look at all the different colors.
That's
Green,
beautiful.
yellow, orange,
Look
red.
at that. Look at that. It's like
Beautiful.
like
Mosaic.
a Halloween corn. You know, ornamental corn.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. And you know, you notice these perfect hexagons that they shape with their mouths.
That's
They
amazing.
shape it with their mouths, and it falls off of their belly, little flakes of wax, and then they make this. Yeah. What do you see?
That's heavy. This is heavy.
Turn it over. Yeah, it's filled with pollen.
This is heavy.
That's amazing.
I like this one.
So this neighborhood has got wildflower gardens all around, and this property in particular has got all kinds of different plants and stuff. So that's why they've got this variety. Now let's see if you're going to know what you see on this one. What do you see?
Well, I see a lot of caps for
Brood.
Babies.
babies, right? Okay.
Cat food.
Same over here.
Yep, awesome. So we're going to put that back because they like to keep this at 90-something degrees.
Okay.
You know, it's not going to hurt them for a few minutes, but we don't want to,
Okay.
you know, push it.
Yep.
So let's, we're going to push this. Del, why don't you push all these down this way, and we're going to put another frame of honey. How about that, Ira?
Okay. I've been dealing with the yellow now.
Yeah. I also give them a secret, it's not secret, it's Honey Be Healthy.
Okay.
And it's got amino acids and different herbs, mint. What's that? It's got hawthorn in it?
Yeah, with the bottom.
Yeah, and it's like a natural keeping out pests and stuff like that.
You want this pollen patty back here?
So we're gonna put the inner cover on. Get one of the
I'll get it. Now, there's an issue with the populations. Is that correct?
Oh yeah.
And it's at its worst now, or is it kind of getting
It was
better?
at its worst in 2012. It was about a 30% loss in America. And then last winter, it was, they do the winter loss,
Sure.
and it was about 24%. I attribute the majority of losses to insecticides, and most notably this neonicotinoid, imidacloprid. It's a terribly effective, potent killer. When this chemical came into use, the increase of the chemical, and you could follow the decrease of the bee population. Home Depot actually said that they would stop putting it on their plants. So you go to Home Depot, buy plants for your organic garden, you think you're doing a good thing, but this neonicotinoid is a systemic pesticide. It's inside the seed, so it's in every part of the plant.
Wow.
The flowers, the pollen, the nectar, the leaves, the stem. So it's like you think that you're doing a good thing and not putting chemicals in your yard, but you're bringing a poison plant into your property. So Home Depot, good thing, did their own, decided that they're not going to purchase plants that were treated
they
with
don't.
that. Yeah, so that, and they just, I think, started just...
Perfect example of why I have guests like them on my show. That is
you don't stop talking.
That is a wealth of information. Never knew anything about that.
Yeah, I
And
know.
so happy to hear things like that.
Yeah.
It's
So
always
we
great.
can do that with, what people talk about banning Roundup and those things. It's difficult because the chemical companies have much more money than the little people that want to ban things. Just stop buying it.
Right, right.
Go. But on that note, the stores in our area need to give us something different. Not say, well, don't use it and then have a property that you're not happy with.
Right.
There's got to be alternatives that we can learn about.
Sure.
So that we can have beautiful, properties that we want.
Does the methoprene that they spray over the that we talked about
Yeah.
in the osprey episode, does you think that has any effect to the bee at
No,
all?
unfortunately, Dell, no. I wish I could say yes because I hate methoprene
Right.
because of the effect on marine life and
Okay.
fish and aquatic invertebrates and crustacean and those things. But methoprene they think could affect the larval honeybee, but the larval honeybee is inside the beehive. So it's going to be pretty difficult for the bees. I mean, if they were coated in it, brought it back, but it's not really, there are studies and I've read them, so I can't blame that on problems with the bees. I'd like to, but I can't.
Okay, we've come up here on a bee colony on a fence post, and it's raining. But as you can see, these guys are apparently looking for a place to go, and since they use the sun to navigate, they have colonized on this post until they're ready to go searching for another place. These are honeybees, and as you can tell, they're not too agitated. I'm standing right next to it. Hopefully they're not crawling up my back and surrounding my head.
Stuck where he doesn't want to be. Oh, my darling honey bee, I'll come save you, even if it means I'd have to face the queen. Oh, ba-dum bum ba-dum bum, ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-dum. So I'll come prepared. My new friends say they would help me get my loved one back. They say it isn't right to be self-control of your mind, but I choose not to believe that. So we'll meet in the darkness of the night, and I promise I will be there on time. We'll be guided by my new friends. The butterflies bring us back to our own little hive. Oh, my other honey bee, no longer stuck where he doesn't want to be. Oh, my darling honey bee, I have saved you, and now that you're with me, we can make our own honey. Oh, ba-dum bum ba-dum bum, ba-da-da-ba-ba-da-dum.
So how does that all come
So
together?
you've got one queen. She's got a life of about 6 years. She lays about 1,500 eggs a day, every day, starting in about March, April. She lays all through. Even now, she's laying a little bit, not 1,500 eggs a day. So yeah, and she goes up in the sky. She mates with a couple of boys from a couple of different hives, and she keeps that sperm inside her whole life, and egg, sperm, and there she goes off to work. She lays the eggs. They live. It takes them about 21 days to hatch.
Okay.
21 for the 21, 24, 25, depending on boy, girl, and the queen. And they spend most of their life inside the hive. So the worker bees are all girls. They only live for about 5-6 weeks. They spend their first 20-ish, 22 days in the hive, doing things. They're nurse bees. They're they're cleaning bees. They do things. They move pollen, water, nectar. They do all these things, and they only spend about 10 days out in nature pollinating and getting pollen and bringing back nectar, and then they die 6 weeks and they're done.
Wow.
Yeah, and the boys only live about 4 or 5 weeks, and they don't do anything besides mate with the queen from another hive, and then they die.
Okay.
During that one fateful.
Typical.
Yeah.
Now you, every time you talk about something, you make me think of a better question. Now you said there were nursing bees, there were worker bees, there's the queen bee. How many different bees are doing different things? What are the jobs?
There's only one queen bee in each hive.
Right.
The nurse bees, the worker bees are all girls, and worker bees have different jobs. When they're born, their first job is to clean out their little area where they were born. Then they start cleaning out others. Then when they're a couple days old, they'll start becoming nurse bees for older babies that they feed them and they take care of them, and then that are inside their little cell.
Okay.
And then when they're a little bit older, they take care of the younger babies. And then when they're a little bit older, they start doing things inside the hive. So there's only the drone, which is the boy, the big fat ones with the big eyes so he could see the queen.
Okay.
And then the worker bees, which have all those jobs, nurse bees and cleaning bees and collecting bees. They collect and they make honey and all that. And the queen, so there's 3. But within honeybees, there's Italian honeybees and Carolinian and Russian, and there's hybrids. But these honeybees that we have in America, they're all from Europe. They're not native species in America, which is interesting because I thought about, well, why don't we make them an endangered species? Because they're declining at such a quick rate. But they're not indigenous to America, so you can't have an endangered species.
Right.
So I was like, because I was going to contact people and be like, let's make them endangered species. But then imagine if we killed one by accident, we can get in big trouble.
Yeah.
If it was, it'd be terrible.
That'd be unbelievably terrible. All right. Now, what about the Africanized bee?
Yeah, they're not here. It's too. Our climate isn't good. But they're down in Texas. You know, they came from Africa. They Africanized killer bees. Whether they were brought down to South America, probably somehow they got there. I don't think they flew. They can't really.
And when
fly
you
that
say
far.
killer bee, what makes
they're,
them killers?
They're nasty. They're mean.
They're very aggressive.
They're very aggressive,
and
and
more
they
more than
follow
likely,
you.
when they sting and that they let that pheromone of warning and danger,
The rest
they
of 'em.
probably react a lot more
Yeah.
aggressively.
Yeah, I've heard, don't even jump in a pool or something because you're gonna wait.
Right?
But that's what I've heard.
Okay.
Thank goodness never.
What, bees cannot be underwater?
No, they don't.
At all?
No, they'll drown because they're
Okay.
feeding. Their breathing tubes are on their sides of their bodies. They've
Okay.
got like all these breathing tubes, so no, they
Alright.
can't be in the water. But no, but the point is that they'll wait for you to come up because they're smart.
Well, sure.
So
Now,
don't jump in the pool.
Okay.
Get in the house.
let's start. No, don't go in the house. What if other people are in the house and you're covered with killer bees?
Oh my gosh.
How
I
inconsiderate.
don't know what to
Okay.
do.
Let's talk about the spinning process.
Mm.
Now, you are preparing to hold a spinning event.
Yes, a
And-
honey spinning party.
And this will be, you've done the harvesting,
Mm-hmm.
and this is obviously the canning, would
Yeah.
you say?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
we're gonna
Well, what's spinning?
uncap. Remember the wax? So we're gonna take that wax off, and we put the frame in this big honey spinner, and you spin it, and the centrifugal would whack the honey out. And
Okay.
then it's in this
So
big
you
stainless
literally
steel.
are spinning.
You're spinning the honey, and it's a lot. I mean, I don't have an electric spinner.
Right.
I have a hand crank. So we're
Okay.
gonna have a party
Uh,
and have my guests do a
I
little
see.
spinning.
It's the old Tom Sawyer routine. That's what
over.
it is. We'll hold the party. Here's the paint and the
There you go.
paintbrush.
Yeah.
I'll sit back and give everybody drinks and food.
We're gonna have a lot of
And
honey infused cocktails.
I love it.
and
What a great idea. Good to see that these things,
It's a community.
these community come together things are still relevant in this day and age. Deb, thank you so very much.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure having you on. I know I'll have you on again because it's so much fun. You have so much knowledge to offer our audience as well as the community and people everywhere. Your topics are always very important, and you really do your research, Deb. And I'm very proud not only to have you as a guest but to call you my friend. Okay, and thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'm absolutely certain you have. And we'll see you next episode of Imagination Nature. Thank you.
Thank you.